We're still a few minutes away from the opening bell on Wall Street, so let's dive into some red-hot trending tickers. Not just hot, red-hot trending tickers. Shares of Microsoft are in focus following a downgrade from the folks over at UBS, as they now have a neutral rating on the software company. UBS also slashed its price target on Microsoft from $300 down to $250. This all coming on concern over growth rates from Microsoft's Azure cloud computing business. And I wouldn't say this is a bold call by any stretch of the imagination. We've been reporting the past 3 quarters for Microsoft that growth rate in cloud services for that Azure service has slowed down. And in light of the Salesforce workforce reductions, which we'll talk about in a second, this call, at least it makes sense to me.
Yeah, and on the cloud side of the business, I think for the install base, or at least the client base that Microsoft has, and what UBS is pointing out within this, they're talking about the Office 365 business being vulnerable in terms of the installed base that Microsoft does have. And if you do see this this element of compression in the seat count, so seat count compression among some of those core clients as headcount growth and actually headcount reduction has been core to some of the cost restructurings at companies who are clients of Microsoft right now too. And that hits on the number of licenses that those clients would need in that Office 365 element.
I know the stock is being affected by this call this morning, but what I'm interested in regarding Microsoft has nothing to do with this downgrade. And it's reporting that was first reported by The Information that Microsoft is testing out ChatGPT on its Bing search engine to potentially help power that search engine. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, ChatGPT is this AI-powered, response service, I guess. I don't know what you could call it, that is owned by OpenAI, which was funded by $1 billion investment from Microsoft. So they have a relationship with that. And effectively, you put in prompts for all kinds of things. If you look across the internet, you have all kinds of fun things that people have asked this AI robot. And it comes back with answers that make sense. Some of them are not accurate, but they make sense. And so the idea, I think, is that Bing would, instead of Google giving you the search results, ChatGPT would give you like a full paragraph, if you will, of something that you asked it. Bing, as we know, doesn't do very well versus Google, has a very much smaller market share. Could this change it down the road? Who knows? But it's an intriguing possibility to me.
Our AI text correspondent, Mike, pointing out this is an AI text generator. I guess you learn something new every day,
there
right?
There you go. That's what you would call it. AI
text generator.
Okay.
Well, yeah, people have been testing writing out term papers with ChatGPT. So
recipes, all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Tech for good, tech for bad, especially if they're going to embed this in Bing. I mean, I put that out to our audience watching this. I'm curious on what they think. Hit us with some tweets, because this seems like scary technology at the very least.
And to qualify for part of the conversation on Twitter, you have to have used Bing within the last 3 months for sure. And
oh, wow.
I'm just joking.
Wow, burn. That's tough.
I mean, look, if Bing's bringing less than $10 billion in revenue,
you have to think Google is going to do it, and then all these search engines are doing it, and then it changes the complete world.
Right, but if they have the proprietary relationship with ChatGPT, then perhaps Bing would have the edge in this. Mm-hmm. And for good or for, I don't know. I'm not convinced it's evil. I don't know that it would be a terrible thing.
Ooh, I didn't expect
I've seen
that.
some interesting use cases for it.
Writing code.
You're always throwing me curveballs, Julia.
Writing code. I saw somebody who wrote it for a scavenger hunt for their kids that they didn't have time to put together. So they held the prompts for the scavenger hunt. They weren't all great, but some of them were helpful at least.
You always keep it interesting, Julia.
I don't know. I
appreciate it.
I like to surprise you.
You could use it to write some
That was an
stories.
upside surprise. That's like when
Well, that's the scary part, right? Is using it to write some stories.